Hello, welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, Head of State lays down the law for members of the Guyana Police Force. CDC wraps up 10-day mass casualty and incident command system training. And we update you on preparations for Mashramani. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
And now for the details. President David Granger today called for the Guyana Police Force to curtail crime so that citizens can enjoy the fruits of their labor.
The head of state issued this call during his feature address at the opening ceremony of the Guyana Police Force's annual officers' conference held at Ivleary Police Force headquarters.
Officers, crime is the greatest impediment to human safety and economic prosperity in Guyana. Crime must be curtailed if the people are to be safe and if the state is to be secure. The control and eradication of crime will protect citizens' right to life and will permit them to enjoy the rewards of their labor.
President Granger also challenged the force to guard against the elevation of corrupt and bad-intentioned ranks to their leadership.
The police force has multiple functions in this nation. These statutory functions are necessary, but they're not sufficient. The police force, if it is to win the fight against crime, against disorder and violence, must also continuously ensure that only persons who are fit and proper are appointed to the highest offices of the force's administration and operation to direct the performance of these functions. The ancient aphorism, "Fish rots from its head down," suggests that misconduct at the lowest levels of an organization is caused usually by lack of leadership, neglect, or misconduct at the highest levels.
Additionally, the president highlighted that the Police Act outlines ranks' roles. He challenged ranks to show commitment and strong character to ensure law and order.
The police force can perform these functions effectively only if its members are committed, only if they're competent, and only if they're incorruptible. Human safety and public security can be guaranteed only by a force that is officered by persons who are competent, committed, and uncorrupted. No government anywhere could countenance the employment of incorrigible officers and expect that law and order could be maintained.
The conference will be conducted over 2 days and address several issues, including analysis of unprofessional behavior, restructuring of the force's divisions, and preparations for local government elections. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
The first round of public hearings of the Commission of Inquiry into the Lindo Creek Massacre was today postponed until further notice because of the absence of witnesses. Alexis Rodney has the details.
Chairman of the inquiry, retired Justice Donald Trotman, today informed journalists and special invitees that the Commission was forced to adjourn the hearing because of the lack of witnesses and prerequisites.
I have come to let you know that because of the particular circumstances I have mentioned, we will not be having any hearing today, and we would have to adjourn these proceedings until such time as these important prerequisite arrangements have been put in place.
Justice Trotman could not share what those prerequisites are, as they are internal matters. However, regarding the lack of witnesses, he said that family members who were expected to appear before the commission were facing some transportation and other issues.
We have been expecting relatives of the deceased whose deaths are being inquired into at Lindo Creek. But some of them have not been able to come, and some may arrive late, and the uncertainty of their presence is one of the factors that would make the hearing possible.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry has been established to inquire into the circumstances surrounding the killings of Cecil Arokiam, Dax Arokiam, Horace Driggs, Bunny Harry, Lancelot Lee, Compton Spears, Nigel Torres, and Clifton Berry Bong on or about the 21st of June 2008, and to report the findings and recommendations to President David Granger. Meanwhile, President David Granger said he remains steadfast in his commitment to bring closure to the unsolved murders.
My intention to investigate those deaths has not changed. My government will launch inquiries into the worst massacres which occurred during the Troubles.
Alexis Rodney for InfoHub.
Pensioners will soon benefit from new methods of payment before the end of 2018 through initiatives forged by the GPOC. More in this Natisha Isaacs report.
Working closely with the Ministry of Public Telecommunications, the GPOC is conducting research into implementing a debit card system. This will enable pensioners' monthly funds to be transferred directly into a bank account to avoid the hassle of waiting hours in lines across the country. At the GPOC's recent annual press conference, Minister Hughes gave some insight into the proposed measure.
We're moving ahead with looking at new ways of paying our pensioners. And the things we're looking at right now are automatically having funds going into their bank account if they so desire. We're also doing some research about maybe instituting a card that's almost like a debit card that their pension payments each month could directly go towards.
Minister Hughes will be meeting with the Bankers Association to share ideas and get them on board as the GPOC attempts to be able to provide the new payment systems.
We want to encourage them to sign up at the post office to have their pension paid to a bank account. Later this month, I will be meeting with the Bankers Association in an attempt to share with them and to ask them to come on board, as we want to be able to provide new payment systems.
The GPOC is also working closely with the Ministry of Public Telecommunications to strengthen the corporation's relationship with the public. The minister also assured that the ministries are working assiduously to ensure that all their plans are implemented before the end of 2018. For InfoHub, Leticia Isaac.
Delicia Haynes tells us that stakeholders from a wide cross-section of society graduated from the Civil Defense Commission's Mass Casualty and Incident Command System training.
The program's graduates represented the joint services, the private and public sector, and the medical fraternity. This training is offered to key agencies to enhance the country's preparedness for mass casualties caused by disasters or emergencies. Minister of State Joseph Harmon.
Mass casualty management and incident command systems are integral to the preservation of public safety and security during emergencies and disasters, as they facilitate the provision of prompt medical response and victim care, effective and efficient resource mobilization and management, as well as strengthened interagency coordination during mass casualty incidents.
Deputy Chief Medical Officer of the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Boyle, praised the initiative. It constitutes an effective solution in dealing with mass casualty disaster events immediately.
There is no substitute for preparation. The importance of public health strategies and the maximizing of the benefits for the community as a whole cannot be underestimated. Moreover, both clinical care and public health measures must be conducted in an integrated manner.
The DCMO added that a three-way distribution of deaths from traumatic injuries shows that in order to reduce morbidity and mortality in the first few hours following a disaster, local capacity and infrastructure management must be fully mobilized and strengthened to ensure the best results for severely wounded and traumatized victims. The Canadian government and PAHO WHO funded and provided technical support to the program. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
The Citizen Security Strengthening Program is focusing on youth skills training in an effort to reduce crime. Stefan Gabriel was there and filed that report.
Hundreds of youth aged 16 to 25 from 20 selected communities are being targeted for skills training as a crime reduction tool under Component 1 of the 3-component Citizen Security Strengthening Program. Project Manager Clement Henry.
The Component 1 is really working with 20 communities to reduce crime and violence within those communities and to build capacity in those communities so that these communities can become crime resilient. I must let you know that in each of those 20 communities, so far in 18 of the 20, we have been able to set up community action councils. But these councils are local, they are community, for the want of a better term, they're community governance structures that will help in crime prevention. So they will be responsible for mobilizing other communities, ensuring that the programs that they would have developed in the community safety plans are implemented, and any related issues related to the implementation of Component 1 in that community, they will support and be at the forefront of these activities.
Henry told the Department of Public Information that the intervention is data-driven and takes into consideration the needs identified by previous investigations.
The needs assessment, when completed, will provide the base data for us to do rapid impact projects, for us to have a community safety plan, and for us to have the community organizations that we will develop, that we have developed to something for them to work with beyond the life of the project.
Through the CSSP, youth are trained in masonry, electrical installation, refrigeration, catering and motor vehicle repairs, among other technical vocational skills. The program also includes remedial education, job readiness training, job placement, entrepreneurship training, mentoring, counseling, and psychological skills training, along with literacy programs. Interested youth can call 222-8865 for information. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
Today, Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources, Simona Brooms, mediated a solution for Moblissa residents after concerns over a new loom mining operation in the community were raised. Tiffany Rogers has our final report.
Minister Brooms gave assurance that going forward there will be more consultations between companies and communities.
AG Mining began loam mining in Moblissa 6 months ago. This prompted concerns by residents about how the operation will benefit the community. Minister Brooms apologized to the residents after pointing out that there was no consultation by the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission after issuing the license.
Consultation must be done. It is not only what is written on the book. You have persons living in the community. And once their livelihood, once strange people coming into your community, you ought to know. You should be informed. And I'm saying the way we did business then, we would not do it now.
Chair of the Moblissa CDC, Arthur Reynolds, said the community would like to see financial benefits towards their development from the operation.
We demand 2 persons to be employed as checkers to record the number of trucks leaving Moblissa. 3, the company needs to support the Community Development Council in fixing the road from the junction to the creek. And 4th, the contractor must replant the area in keeping with the government's view of the green economy.
Representatives of AG Mining have agreed to meet with the regional authorities and residents next Monday to iron out how it can contribute to the community's development following the meeting.
Reporting from Moblissa for InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Please note that on February 16, you can check out the Adult Calypso Finals at the National Park, the Children's Competitions at the National Cultural Center, and hang out after work with Banks on the Avenue on Main Street, Georgetown. Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates on Republic Day and Mashramani activities. Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.